going to make some homemade meatballs today. We're starting out with about 4 pounds of Angus premium ground beef. This is 85/15. We are using Smithfield sausage, or not sausage, their signature ground pork. We're using 2 pounds of that. It is 80% lean. Our other ingredients are going to be cracker crumbs, breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, granulated onion, granulated garlic. We have 2 eggs and also 1 onion totally chopped up. We'll go ahead and start by adding the ground beef and the pork to our big mixing bowl. It helps if you have everything ready beforehand. That way, all you gotta start doing is dumping and mixing. All right, we're going to add, we have 1 sleeve of unsalted cracker crumbs that we're gonna add. This will actually soak up some of the fat whenever the meatballs are cooking. We are going to add some breadcrumbs as well. I'm just sprinkling in a decent amount. I'm not measuring anything. Whenever I start to form before I start to form the meatballs, once the meat's all mixed together, I'll kind of judge the texture and consistency to see if I need to add any more of anything. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning. The breadcrumbs already have some Italian seasoning in them, but we're going to add a little bit more. Let's see, granulated garlic. And some granulated onion. We're going to add our chopped onion. I took a whole onion and chopped it in my little mini food processor. That way you don't have like big chunks of onion in your meatballs. Okay, check that out. Alright, what's missing? The egg. Well, we're going to wait to add the egg until we mix this some. Alright, basically, the best tools you can use for this are your hands. I put the 1 package of ground beef on the bottom. I put the other package of ground beef on the top and the pork in the middle. That way, as I'm mixing it, it should come together pretty nicely without you having to do more work than necessary. Okay, I can already tell I'm definitely want to add some more breadcrumbs. I actually might chop up another sleeve of cracker crumbs as well. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to add the egg. I already mixed the egg up, and I added just a tiny bit of water to it. I think I don't need that no more. Little suggestion that was given to me from a chef friend of mine is to put some newspaper down when you're doing stuff like this. Any type of messy food prep. That way when it comes time to clean up, it's a lot easier. This is feeling really oozy. A little squishy. going to have to ask my lovely wife here to assist me for a second. We're going to have her add some more of the Italian breadcrumbs to our mixture here. Go ahead. That should be good, thank you. Whether you cook a little bit, whether you cook a lot, or whether you don't cook very much at all, this is something anybody can do. You just need to take the time, and you can experiment with different other seasonings and ingredients. This has pretty much come together now. Everything looks like it's mixed very well. So now we're going to start rolling some meatballs. You can make them small, medium, large, you decide. I'm going to go with a size about like that. I don't want to go bigger than that because they might take too long to cook. We're going to start to brown up our meatballs. I have some olive oil I put into a pan here. I put my heat on 3, which is basically medium, like a lower medium. My pan tends to have a high spot in the middle, so I'm doing my meatballs all around the outside of the pan in the olive oil. And we'll let those sit for a couple minutes, and then as they start to brown, we'll be turning them. Line the bottom of our crock pot with some spaghetti sauce. You can make your own homemade sauce, or you could do like I'm doing and just use a jar version. Whatever your preference. I'm going to start adding. Ready? We're going to start transferring our meatballs into the crock pot, and once they're done, it's a good sign these are kind of falling apart to some degree, which means that when they cook up and you go to eat them, they're going to melt in your mouth. I'm just trying to get them as close together as I can without squishing them in, because we got a lot of meatballs to try to fit in here. Any extra meat you have, throw it in. It'll flavor the sauce. So we've had the meatballs cooking in a crock pot for 4 hours. We're ready to shut this off. They're all nice and bubbly. And we're going to let that cool down for about 15-20 minutes, and it'll be time to eat. Our meatballs are done cooking in the crock pot, so we've plated them. We also made up a batch of stuffed shells while we were waiting in the toaster oven. These are just a frozen stuffed shell, nothing special. when we have a chance to do some homemade ones, we'll go ahead and film those as well. But anyway, you always want to have some sort of pasta, usually, whether you're having meatballs or hot sausage. It just goes well together.